Trans fats may no longer dominate the headlines like they did a decade ago, but their presence hasn't completely disappeared from the food supply, and that's a problem. While many countries have banned or heavily restricted partially hydrogenated oils, the primary source of industrial trans fats, loopholes in labeling laws and regulatory enforcement still allow small, yet biologically significant, amounts of trans fats to make their way into everyday foods. The reality is that 0 grams trans fat on a label doesn't always mean what consumers think it does, and the cumulative impact of these hidden fats can still pose a real health threat. In many places, including the United States and parts of Asia, current labeling laws permit manufacturers to round down and list 0 grams trans fat on the nutrition facts panel if a serving contains less than 0.5 grams. On the surface, that sounds negligible, but if a person eats multiple servings a day of products containing these trace amounts, the intake can quickly add up to levels associated with increased risk of cardiovascular disease. And because trans fats have no known health benefit and are linked to inflammation, LDL cholesterol elevation, and arterial damage even in small doses, there is no safe threshold for consumption. What makes the situation more concerning is that trans fats often hide behind vague or misleading ingredient names. One of the most common red flags is partially hydrogenated oil, which remains legally permitted in some processed foods, especially baked goods, snack items, shelf-stable frostings, microwave popcorn, and even certain margarines or coffee creamers. Some frozen or imported foods may contain trans fats if they were produced in regions with weaker restrictions or less enforcement. Products marketed as healthy, light, or cholesterol-free can still legally include small amounts. To protect yourself, it's critical to go beyond the nutrition label and read the ingredient list closely. If you see partially hydrogenated anything, whether it's soybean, cottonseed, or palm oil, that's a strong indicator that the product contains artificial trans fats, even if the label says 0 grams. The same vigilance should apply when buying processed foods in bulk, eating at restaurants, especially fast food chains that fry in oils with unclear origins, or purchasing imported goods where regulations may differ. Another source of confusion is that not all trans fats are industrial. Ruminant trans fats, naturally occurring in small amounts in meat and dairy from cows and sheep, are chemically different and appear to have less harmful effects. Some research suggests that these naturally occurring fats, like conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, may even have neutral or mildly beneficial properties. The key distinction is that these natural trans fats occur in minute quantities in whole foods, whereas industrial trans fats are concentrated and used to manipulate food texture and shelf life at the expense of health. Given the overwhelming evidence against trans fats, the World Health Organization has called for their global elimination by 2025. Some nations have already made impressive strides, but enforcement gaps, especially in low- and middle-income countries, remain. For consumers, this means that education and personal vigilance still play a crucial role in avoidance, especially since harmful effects can accumulate over time, even when exposures are small and intermittent. While many manufacturers have reformulated their products, replacing trans fats with safer oils, others have turned to alternatives like palm oil, which is not without its own environmental and nutritional concerns. The transition away from trans fats must therefore be both health-conscious and sustainable, keeping consumers informed and empowered to make choices that protect their long-term well-being. In the end, spotting and avoiding hidden trans fats isn't just about avoiding one bad actor. It's part of a broader commitment to unprocessed, whole food-based eating. The closer a food is to its natural form, the less likely it is to contain deceptive ingredients or nutritional landmines. Until regulations fully catch up and enforcement is uniform across all regions and industries, the best defense remains awareness. Knowing how to read between the lines and the labels is a vital step toward protecting your heart, your arteries, and your future health.